Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about Mäksēlife and their 2023 planner launch. Today I have several of their new launching items and I'm going to be walking through those with you so you are prepared for launch day, which is October 20th. Up first, I have their flagship planner. This is a staple in their lineup. They've had this planner every year, but it has gotten some really nice upgrades, and I personally feel like this is their best launch to date. I have been using the Mäksēlife since August of 2020, so this is my fourth time purchasing one of their planners, and I'm very excited about this year. I have two of their flagship planners here, and one is a vertical and one's a horizontal. We'll get into that in a little bit, but they come in these really nice keepsake boxes, and the box that you get is related to the cover that you chose. So the first cover that I chose here is the watercolor sunrise, and I chose this cover because I really liked the quote on it. It spoke to me in a time of self-doubt. It says, "There is a past version of yourself that is so proud of how far you've come." And this really spoke to me because, like I mentioned, I was kind of going through a phase where I was thinking like, I've done all this goal work, but I have so much work to do, and it was feeling discouraging at the moment. But I saw this quote, and it immediately just kind of lifted my spirits and made me think about how much work I have put into myself and just see it in a better light. This cover really spoke to me, which is why I selected that one. And the other cover I selected is the Blackberry Fields cover. This is one of their artist series from Cindy, and honestly I chose this one because purple is my favorite color. And I think it's cute. So these are their two flagship options that I chose. There are two additional covers, another artist series, and one that's a little bit more plain or streamlined, and they are all, each one is going to be $76, and then you can choose to get vertical or horizontal. I have a vertical here on the left and a horizontal here on the right. I'm typically a vertical girl. I normally use the vertical planner, but I did want to try out the horizontal this year for some memory keeping / daily journaling. We'll see how that goes. I haven't fully decided on my 2023 lineup yet, but I did want to have the option available. The cool thing about these planners is that regardless of what layout you pick or what color you choose, the inside is going to be the exact same as far as the goal setting, the reflections, the monthly view. The only thing that's different is the weekly spread, and I'll show you that as we go through. But for now, I'm just going to kind of walk through the planner to show you what you're going to get. One thing I did want to point out is that they have updated the coil colors. So this is my Mäksēlife from 2 years ago, and you can see the coil color is really dark. The coil color now is this lighter gold, and I actually prefer that. I'm not a huge fan of the wire O binding in general, which is why last year I chose to get their 6-month coiled undated book right here. But I do like this new color. I do believe that the storm cover, if you choose a storm cover, it has a silver coil and not this gold. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I don't have a visual of that one, but it has been shown on the Mäksēlife social media pages, and also I'm sure there's another content creator who has that one as well. Let's kind of dive into the book so you can see what's inside, what's included in this planner. It's pretty thick. This is one that I don't usually take around with me. I keep this one at home because it is thick, it is a little heavy, and also I just feel like I get really nervous about the coil. I don't want to damage it, so I do leave this one at home. But it does come with this beautiful strap to hold everything in place, which is really nice. I've also used it as kind of a bookmark in the past. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to do that, but that's okay. Inside here in the front cover, it matches the box. So you'll notice that in any of the planners that you get this year. I think that's a really cute touch. I'm a sucker for the small details. Then you come to your title page here, and then you get right into a welcome to the Mäksēlife system. It's a letter from Sierra, the founder. She's a certified life coach, and she just kind of shares with you what Mäksēlife is and what it means. I really appreciate these pages because if you've been in a Mäksēlife system before, you kind of know how things go, but if this is your first time, it gives you an entrance into the world of Mäksēlife. It gives you a touch point, and so you can really start to internalize and understand what this whole system means. Turning the page, you get into some instructions. Now, these instruction pages have gotten a facelift. I have my planner from last year here, so you can see this is the same page in the planner, but you can notice there is a newer kind of graphics, less words on the page, and things like that. I personally really like that. Here you can see this page is a little bit different too. I like that because it's easier to read, in my opinion, and it's just nicer. I am more of a visual person versus like a lot of words, so I like the upgrades that they have with their newer branding, and I think it flows a little bit better. Next, you go into your first compass assessment. It gives you some instructions about what the compass assessment is, and then it also gives you some examples here, and then you actually get to take the assessment right here. It has the assessment scoring, and then you have your intentions and setting goals pages. Again, these pages have gotten a facelift, so they look a little bit different. Some of the wording is a little bit different than years past, but it has the same meat and potatoes of how to set goals, what types of goals to set, and then tools and tips about actually writing your goals out. Then it talks about the different types of goals that you'll be setting in the Mäksēlife system, from your annual goals, your monthly goals, and then your weekly actions. And then it also has this section here talking about your weekly reflections. And a lot of the work that I have found has been most beneficial to me in using a Mäksēlife planner has come from this weekly reflections section. And I love that it has its own special blue box this year to talk about why it's important. After that, you have a page here to just really brainstorm. There's some ideas about each goal area, what goals you might want to set in there. Then you have a dot grid page. This is really your space to kind of do with what you want before you set your goals. I'll show you what I did in mine last year. I made a big circle for each goal area, and then I just kind of dumped a bunch of stuff on the page, things that I thought I wanted for myself, and then I kind of prioritized and highlighted and really used that as a grounding spot for setting my annual goals before I actually did. Then we get to actual setting the annual goals. There is a slight difference on this page from years past, and that is that this section here is dot grid rather than lined. Here you can see that this is actually lined, and I used a post-it note because I couldn't commit last year, but it is dot grid section now. One thing I love on this page is that it really implores you to ask yourself, how will your life improve by reaching those goals? And that question is really important to me because it makes me really evaluate and think about if the goal that I'm setting is appropriate for my life, if it's going to move my life in the direction I want it to go, or if it's rather just a goal that I'm setting just because I think I should. And I love that the Mäksēlife planner several times throughout has those opportunities for you to really stop and evaluate at a deeper level. Of course, you get what you put into the planner. It's not a magic cure, it's a tool, but I really do like that they have those just listed throughout. And then after that, you have your vision board. The vision board pages are blank. This is a fun space for you to kind of just plan, envision, and dream about what you want your year to look like. This was my vision board last year. I loved how it turned out. You can do whatever you want with this page. You don't even have to use it if you don't want to. Then it's some quick tips about goal setting. With that, we move into our first monthly section. These, since this is a dated book, the tabs are updated with the months. So we have January 2023 up first. These pages are really beautiful and streamlined. A few years ago they had big quotes on them with different colors. I'm just going to pull one out here. Let's see. Like this. These are the Mäksēlife colors and they had beautiful quotes. This year you can see they're a little bit more simple. They still have a quote with a new branding, this compass wheel here, but a bit more streamlined, a little bit more gender neutral, and I actually really like that because, you know, this planner is for everybody, not just, you know, planner girls. So it looks great in my opinion. We flip open to the first month. It is a Sunday start. There's not an option for a Monday start. If you don't like that, just throw some date covers on here. There's always a quote at the top. You do have the note section and then the forward month here at the bottom. The holidays are listed here in the planner, so that's really nice for you as well. This is a standard monthly view as far as the boxes go. They have a standard width. If you'd like to see how wide they are, I can show you with my little ruler here. But they are, you know, about an inch and an inch. So, like I said, standard. Then after the monthly view, we get into our monthly goals. So this is the second part of the goal setting system. You set your annual goals, you chunk those down into monthly goals, and this is where you will be filling those in. This is lined, not dot grid. You do have a spot for each goal area as well as a spot to write the focus for that month with a quote at the top. Then we have our first week. The start of each week you have this dot grid page here, and it's an opportunity for you to use for reflection. I like to use it for a brain dump for the week. You can use it for memories, whatever you want. There's not really a rule here. I have mostly seen it used for reflections though. The weekly actions page is arguably my favorite in the whole planner because it gives you a really dedicated space to jot down what you're going to be doing that week to either progress your goal or maintain your progress in an area. It's really a spot for you to get very specific about how to prioritize your needs in each different goal area. There is a spot for each goal area. You may have noticed that they are color coded. The colors stay the same throughout the entire planner. They also stay the same across years. This year there was a slight change to a few colors due to the invention of the Mäksē markers. I did order the Mäksē markers, however they weren't ready for affiliates by the time we were sent our packages, so they're coming a little bit later. But as soon as I get those, I will do a swatch here on my YouTube and most likely on my Instagram as well, so you can see the different colors, but that is the reason for slightly updated colors. For the most part, they're still the same. Anyway, back to the weekly actions. This page is my favorite. I can't say that enough. After the weekly actions page, you get your weekly view. So this is the vertical layout. This is how it looks. It has a column for each day. Monday through Thursday is on one side. Friday through Saturday is on the other side, and then you have your notes section and a habit tracker. On the bottom here, you have a dedicated space for it, whatever you choose. It does have a small heart there, so I've been known to use it for gratitude, also meal planning, also wellness tracking, just because, you know, heart health. But you can do whatever you want with it. It is really, really nice paper. It's very smooth but also thick. The dates are printed for you across the top, and this is the vertical version. Now I mentioned I also had the horizontal, and I'm just going to switch these out here to show you very quickly that it's fairly similar as far as here's the weekly actions page, then here's the horizontal. You have Monday through Thursday on the left hand side. It's just going horizontally instead of up and down, and then you have Friday through Sunday on the right hand side, a note section and a habit tracker as well. You have the same number of habits on each version. You have the same amount of space. It's just oriented a little bit differently. So this is an example of how I use it. I like to use this planner to kind of map out my week and map out on what specific day that I'm going to do the actions that I listed here in the weekly actions. This is my planner from last year. So you can see that I have my personal category and just the different categories, and then I go through and check off when I've done what I said I was going to do, and then make sure that I have also hit all of these things in my weekly actions. You can do that in the vertical or the horizontal. That's just how I use it. After that first week, then you get your next week with the dot grid page, the weekly actions, the weekly spread, and this continues for the entire month. I'm just going to keep flipping through January so you can see. You'll notice that the coaching tips here at the bottom are different each week, which is really nice addition to the planner. And then when we get to the end of the month, you have your monthly reflections. These reflections give you an opportunity to think back about how the month went. You get to talk about your biggest wins, the things that are working, the things that are not working, what you learned. You also get to rate the month, and I actually really love doing this because it's really fun to go back and see over the years how you are rating yourself, and whether your ratings are going up or down, and just kind of thinking about or being able to review what my mindset was at the time. It's also really helpful in the moment so you can make quick adjustments for your next month if those are needed in your goal setting process. After that, you go right into your next month, which is February. I do want to show you that we did do the compass assessment at the beginning of the year, but then at the end of the quarter, so after 3 months, you get an opportunity to redo the compass assessment. And this is not for judgment, this is not for, ratings, this is actually just to evaluate and see, are your goals working for you? Are you moving towards what you wanted for yourself for the year? And this is more of a page for information. You can compare to your previous compass assessment, but again, it's not to judge you, it's not to make you feel bad, it's just for information. Is what you're doing working now that you've been trying it for 3 months, or do you need to adjust? I think this makes me really successful in my goal setting and my goal achieving because it's not just a random thing and I revisit it often, but also there's permission to change it if it's not working, which really helps me combat my fear of failure and my, perfectionism. There's permission to change and adjust in this planner, and there's permission to evaluate that without fear. So that is really why I like this planner, another reason. Okay, moving on, we have the rest of the months here. I'm just kind of fly past those, and then you get to the extras at the back of the planner at the end of the 12 months. You have this year at a glance page here, which really is 2023 on one side, 2024 on the right. You have a spot on the bottom for important dates, and then you have just a bunch of notes pages for you to use for whatever you want. And then there is a 2-pocket folder at the back. Right in, and then you get a whole sheet of stickers, which is always a favorite in my opinion. After that, you have the back cover, and there's also a pocket back here. This is normally where I keep my ideal week that I use to help plan my weeks out, or any extra stickers or anything like that. And then you get the end of the planner. It has a beautiful Mäksēlife embossing in the back, and that's that. So that is the flagship we have this year. That's kind of the inside guts. Like I said, the guts are going to be the same no matter which cover you choose. The only difference is whether you choose vertical or horizontal. The next planner I have to show is actually the daily planner, and I'm going to set these aside and grab that out now. All right, the daily planner. This is a quarterly planner, meaning that there's only 3 months in here. So if you did want to use the daily planner all year, you would have to purchase 4 of these. These planners are $58, which is also the same price as they were last year, and they're A5, so they are a little bit smaller than the flagship. The flagship is the 7x9 size. I'm just going to put one on top of the other so you can see. So it's a little bit smaller. This one is super portable and has a coil instead of the wire O binding, and also comes in 4 different colors. I have sky here, but it also comes in the storm, the cloud, and Luna. This cover is a little bit thinner than the cover from last year. So I have my daily from last year here, and one of the things that was a little bit challenging for me was the cover. Actually, mine kind of broke here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but it was really thick. It was very hard. Very hard. This one is still really thick and sturdy. It's still hard, but it's not as thick as this one. I hope that this cover is a little bit more durable than the one from last year, and I think it will be. The team at Mäksēlife took a lot of feedback from this cover and designed this to be a little bit more durable. The other thing that I noticed right away is that the cover from last year has a little bit more texture to it. It has like cross texture. This one is a little bit smoother, but they both have the Mäksēlife embossing here at the bottom. This cover is not available. This was 2022. So don't get confused. This is now. This is the moment. Okay. Let's dive in before I start being weird. So like I said, A5, $58. This is quarterly. It has the new kind of branding inside. You have your title page. One thing to note about the daily is that it's undated. So you can use it at any time of the year, and you do have to put all the dates in, but it does have all the same goal setting goodness that the flagship does have. One thing about the daily is that if you're going to use it all year, you probably don't need all 4 of the books to have this, but they all have it. So one thing I did was I snipped out my main compass and my intentions, and I just put them in the next version when it was time to switch books. You can do that, or you can keep filling out, or you can ignore it. It's your choice. It's your planner. But I'm just showing you here that they have the same goal setting sheets as the flagship planner. You have the same space to do your brainstorm. You have the same space for your annual goals. Again, dot grid, not lined this year. Then you have your vision board. This vision board can be used actually for your quarter. So instead of visioning for the whole year, you might vision for the next 3 months and what you want out of the next 3 months. I think that's kind of fun and cool to do. And then you have your goal setting tips and your monthly title page. Now these tabs do not have any labels on them because again it's undated, so you would have to either remember or make your own labels. Last year there was some labels that came with the planner. I'm not sure. I didn't see any this year, but that's a question we can ask Sierra. Then you have your month. It's undated. It is a Sunday start. There's a lineup here for the month. You have your notes section. There's no forward calendar on this one because it's undated. There's no way for the team to know which month you're using this particular book. So you can either write that in or, use a sticker, whatever. You also don't need it. It's fine. And then you get your monthly pages. And then your weekly actions with your reflection sheet here. And then you have your weekly overview. So here you can put the week, what your focus is. There's a spot here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I use this page to track my Apple Watch rings, the weather, some different activities or actions that have to happen on specific days. I also use this for meal planning or like a recap of the week, kind of like a quick spot to jot down what happened that day. Possibilities are endless, lots of inspiration out there. Moving on, then we have the daily page. You have one page for each day of the week in one kind of weekly section. On the top you have the date, the focus, you have this space here with 3. A lot of people will do like the top 3. Here you have like a schedule section, a blank dot grid at the bottom, and then a task list. That's honestly how I use it, but again, you can use each section for whatever you want, whatever your heart desires. Here's an example of how I used it last year. I used my AM routine and PM routine at the bottom, then my meal plan here with some water tracking, my tasks on the side, and then my schedule, and then I did Simply Shantae's plan stuff at the top. Again, whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be the same. The cool thing is, if you don't like it one day, flip the page and you have another page for the next day. So there are 7 of these pages for 1 week, and then you get right back into the reflections page, the weekly actions, and so forth. These weekly actions don't have a date. Again, it's undated. I don't know how many times I can say that. Your weekly overview, and then your 7. Because this weekly overview page is here, that means your Mondays is always going to be here. Tuesday is always going to be here, unless you choose to start on a different day. But regardless, it's going to be consistent, which is something that I like in this planner versus another daily planner I used in the past, where like it would switch because 7's an odd number. But with the weekly over page, it makes it 8, so it's always the same. Just showing that you have all of those pages until you get to the end of the month, and then you have your monthly reflections page before your next monthly section. At the end of all 3 months, you do have another compass assessment. And this is very similar to the quarterly view I showed in the flagship. It's an opportunity for you to reevaluate and reassess how you're doing on your goals, not for judgment. There's some prompting questions here, and then at the end, because this is a quarterly, you just have some future planning pages here, and then you have some blank lines, I should say. Notes pages, there's quite a few, this many. And then you have the pocket. And I was right. Look, these are labels for you to put on the tabs on the monthly sections here. They are transparent and they have white lettering, but there's 2 months for each, or 2 stickers for each month, so you can put one on the front tab and one on the back tab. They think of everything. They're geniuses over at Mäksēlife. Then you do have the sticker sheet. It's a smaller version of the one that is in the flagship planner, and you have this inside back pocket here on the back cover. And this pocket, I just noticed, has a very special material here. It's not paper, it's more like a ribbon. How nice. It's very like silver. I like that. All right. So this is the daily planner. Again, you're going to need 4 of these throughout the year. For me, that's kind of a high price point. 58 times 4, I don't know the math, but it's over my budget. That's all I know. So this is something that I really like to have, but I typically save for when I'm going to be on the go or something like that. I typically stick to my flagship planner. One other planning tool that I have used in the past, especially when my life is a little bit out of control, which happens frequently, at least a couple times a year, is the companion notebooks. Sierra and the team at Mäksēlife really encourage keeping your goals with your plans to make sure that they get accomplished. However, the companion notebooks were designed for someone who, you know, is either a digital planner or someone who already has another planning system that they really, really love, but still want to utilize the Mäksēlife goal setting system. So these companion notebooks are A5 in size. They come in this set like this. They come wrapped like this, and there's 5 books that's included. The first book is your compass assessment, so it kind of gives you the instructions. So all that really good goal setting info that's in the front of the flagship planner is in here. You also have your first compass assessment, your intentions, you know, your all of that stuff is in here. Writing goals, your brainstorm, and then your annual goals. That's all here for you and your vision board. That's the first book, so this is the one that you would kind of refer back to throughout the year. Then these 4 books are quarterly, and they have 3 months in each one. You can start with any one that you want, and they have the title page, you know, they have the quotes, the monthly overview, the monthly goal, but instead of having the weekly pages, these just have the weekly actions and your reflection page. So you could use these weekly actions to help guide you, and then use whatever other planner that you want to use. And then at the end, you have the monthly reflections, just like in the flagship or the daily, and a lined page where you can do some more reflecting. And then you get right into the next month. And this continues for 2 more months, so there's 3 months total. And then at the end, you do have some notes pages, which I'm flipping through right now, and your quarterly assessment. So this is a great opportunity for you to kind of dabble into the Mäksēlife world without committing to the full planner if you have one that you already really, really love. These have gotten a beautiful facelift since last couple years. These are the old companion notebooks. They, you know, there's nothing wrong with them. I just really like these ones. And one of the things I love about them is that they have rounded corners versus the square corners. I bought a page rounder, and I've been rounding every planner I own in the last couple months, so I love that these ones are rounded. Also, these leatherette covers are so nice. They're kind of the same material as the daily. These are the four colors that the daily comes in. This is the Luna, Storm, Sky, and Cloud, and they have a really cute, just simple silver quote. Just begin, and again and again. Good things take time. Trust the timing of your life, and your only limit is your mind. So these are really, really nice. I do love the companion notebooks because it makes the system a little bit more portable. I also use several other planners, and so at times when I'm really overwhelmed, I'll pull these out and use these and then kind of back plan in my flagship because I don't like to have any empty pages, but sometimes I can't keep up with everything, and I want to make sure that I'm still sticking to my goals. So I really love this option, and since they are just quick little books, they're easy to take with me when I'm traveling, which I do frequently throughout the year. And I've also used these as gifts to introduce people, the loved ones in my life, to the powerful tool that is Mäksēlife goal setting system. Aside from the companion notebooks, one other notebook that I normally get every year is this A5 dot grid notebook. It has that really pretty leatherette cover. This is $12. It has 60 pages of dot grid. I always pick up a couple of these every year because I use them for brain dumping, grocery list, throw in my bag, have on hand. I take it to the doctor. I take it anywhere. Honestly, I go through these really, really fast. They have the Mäksēlife embossed in the back. They're just really nice notebooks to have. I've also have one that I normally dedicate to Club Moxie for my, you know, notes and everything like that. Here's the one that they had last year. You'll notice that the corner is square, and this year they're rounded. I'm so happy about that. I'm going to say it 6 more times probably before this video is over, but it's just really, really a nice little detail that I love, and I will be picking up a couple of these. There's not much to show. Like I said, it's just one of these little notebooks. They have the same paper quality as the planners, both the daily and the flagship and the companion notebook, so you don't have to worry about the paper. There's no bleed through or anything like that. I'll show that in an upcoming video, likely in the next couple weeks, but this is just a really great option and a nice little companion or addition to your whole system. I normally throw in my bag or just keep nearby, but this year Mäksēlife is also releasing a folio to kind of house all of your extra notebooks. They are also releasing 2 additional kind of sewn in notebooks. I don't have those ones. One's the morning intentions journal, and then one is the evening reflections and gratitudes journal. I don't have those. Other content creators do, but the folio will be great for those as well because they can all stay in one place. Here is the folio. I have the indigo version. This is called Luna. It's also going to be available in the Storm or like the gray color. It is 7.5 by 8.9, so it holds A5 books. And it's going to be $45, or excuse me, $42. This is like a Safino leather, so if you're familiar with that, maybe from a different type of agenda cover, it's really, really nice. It has Mäksēlife embossed on the back and in black, and then other than that, it's just really plain. I shouldn't say plain, it's simple, which is what I like. I really like that there's not a lot of frilly things on here. Feels really professional, like I wouldn't mind pulling this out at work or something like that. Opening this up, you have two little magnets here to keep it closed. The magnet is strong, but I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit stronger if I'm being honest, but we'll see how it holds up as time goes on. And then this foam piece came in to keep its shape. But here is the inside. So you have a pen loop here. You have a pocket right here. It doesn't go all the way through. It's sewn on this edge here. You also have a pocket right here. You have your 4 strings here for your notebooks. You have another pocket here that also doesn't go all the way through. It's sewn on this end. A pocket here. And then you have 4 different card holders here. This is a pretty good size. It has a lot of storage in it, and then your notebooks just kind of slip right in here. These bands are a little bit tighter than I'm used to, but they're not bad, and they're easy to kind of manipulate. I'm just going to put a couple books in here so you can see that 4 fit. I try to find the middle, but you don't have to do that. So you can see that 4 fit, and then I'm going to close it up so you can see how that looks too. I think this is a highly anticipated item. I really am glad that Mäksēlife made it, and it looks really nice. It's very compact. I think I really like it with the 4 books in here. It would be really easy to take to go, but again, I just kind of wish the magnet was a little bit stronger. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated on that. So with that is the folio. It's really, really soft. It feels really nice. It feels high quality. It feels durable, like it's gonna last. I do appreciate that I can fit all 4 books in here. I think if I were to use this, I would use keep a dot grid, keep my companion notebook, and then those 2 journals that are coming out. I didn't get them in advance of launch because I wasn't quite sure, but after looking at everything and kind of reviewing everything, I think I am going to go ahead and grab those. The dot grid notebook doesn't have serrated pages, but the companion notebooks do, so you could also rip them out if you didn't want to keep the books at the end. Alright, the last thing I want to show you here before I sign out is the free gift with purchase. So if you make a purchase on launch day, which is October 20th, all the way to October 24th, you are going to get this free gift. This is a A5 sewn in book, and it's a 2022 year-end reflections. So inside you have, you know, a title page, and then you have some kind of information or kind of purpose behind the book. And the purpose of this book is to review, reflect, and celebrate your progress from the year 2022. There's a final compass assessment in here for you to evaluate the year as a whole. Then there is a page for you to jot about your wins, a page dedicated to your highlights from 2022, a page dedicated to the challenges and lessons you learned from 2022, your growth and your gratitude, what's working, what's not working, another really great place to evaluate yourself, the impact you want to make on others and the community around you, any adjustments you might want to make for 2023, and then some more prompted reflection here before you get to write a letter to yourself, and then just some blind pages here for you to do some further reflecting and journaling if you'd wish. This is the free gift with purchase. There will also be some available to purchase if you wanted any extras to give away, or you know, if you're just like me and like to get 2 just in case you mess up. So that will be available for you on launch day all the way until October 24th. with that, that's pretty much all of the new products that I have to share. There are some other ones that are also launching, so I encourage you to look at some other content creators. I do have a link to a PDF down in my description box that has a list of other really fabulous people who are reviewing the products as well. I encourage you to look at some of their content. If you have any questions about any of the Mäksēlife things that are launching, including the digital products, which I didn't show, the apparel, which I didn't show, which I did purchase, or any of the products that are going to be available from years past, please let me know. I'm happy to help. If you are purchasing on launch day, please consider using one of my affiliate links. That just really shows me and others that you enjoyed my content and found it to be useful. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy launch season, and I will be with you on this journey in 2023 of goal setting and planning. That's it for now, and I'll catch you in my next one.